I had a pretty good day, but honestly, like this whole last week, it's just like, you know, like when you feel like everything is just fucking going wrong and you're so emotional and you're quick to have a temper at like the slightest thing, you're irritated and all that. So I'm gonna talk about life. Life happens whether you want it to or not, and your emotions are the expression of what is happening to you. And over the course of your life, you're gonna experience, numerous feelings, and many emotions will be familiar, and those that occur on a regular basis and reflect the events of your daily life. And some will be less familiar because the events these emotions express will be fewer and farther in between. Stress. So mastering your emotions is not only your personal responsibility, but it's also a positive strategy for getting through life in the best possible way you can. When you have a healthy attitude about your feelings and how to express them, you're better equipped to get through events, rather than feeling each time such strong emotion hits that you're overwhelmed and incapable of handling the situation. And your emotions should ideally help you understand what is happening. Your mastery of emotion may take some time to develop, but once it's acquired, you'll no longer feel lost in the emotion of the moment. Rather, you'll be able to see your emotional response as a way to understand what's happening and to rise above your immediate feelings in order to act appropriately for that specific situation. Everybody has those times when something happens and you just blow up, and it's like your emotional reaction was almost worse than what happened, you know what I mean? So you need some basic tools that can help you, know your emotions, all of them. You gotta think, what are your past experiences with each emotion? Knowing what triggers each of them, understand which events and people are associated with each of those triggers. Do you understand why you respond emotionally the way you do? Usually past trauma, and it's like we tend to think things because we've gone through them and because of our last experience, that's how we are going to perceive the future. So that can cause a lot of anxiety. And then it's like, are you satisfied with your emotional response? Is it appropriate and reflects what you truly feel? Or do your emotional responses feel uncomfortable? For example, overreactive or not reactive enough for the situation? Do you feel frustrated that you can't adequately express yourself? Knowing your emotions should help you judge how to behave when a situation arises, and each new event or interaction should not feel like the first time it's happening. Each successive time a specific emotion is expressed gives you another opportunity to observe yourself and respond in a way that feels right, or at least better for you. Maintain healthy boundaries. How do you maintain your emotional integrity? How do you keep others' emotions from invading your space? Are you able to recognize when others' emotions become your own? Or at least when others are attempting to make you feel the way you do and the way they want you to? Do you have strategies to protect yourself from emotional invasion? Think of a boundary as a healthy space around you. You decide how big this space needs to be for you to feel comfortable. And it may be an actual space measured as physical distance or an imaginary, psychological, emotional space. When you successfully maintain healthy emotional boundaries, you're taking care of yourself first and foremost. Once you've done that, you can actually deal with the situation or person more effectively, since you know what you can and will do, as well as what you will not allow to happen emotionally. Practice self-care whenever possible. Physical care will help keep you healthy, strong, better able to endure life when difficult things happen. But psychological well-being goes a long way to help sustain you, especially during life challenges when you're called upon to emotionally respond. Understanding who you are at your core, or what makes you tick, or how you differ from or are similar to those around you, and what your attitudes and beliefs are, will help keep you on the right track and able to stay on your path in order to accomplish what you desire. As with emotions, your psychological outlook helps keep you steady in your own life. Create a healthy support system. These people who encourage and nurture you. These are people who know you, like who you are, and are willing to help you become your best self. And people with no ulterior motive or private agendas. These people you can always turn to just to listen and or provide advice if needed. It should not be difficult to identify who in your life overwhelms you, weighs you down, worries you, makes you anxious, and or causes you to engage in situations and relationships that are not in your best interest, and that deter you from pursuing what makes you happy and content. Sometimes it's hard to grasp that a relationship or situation is engaging you in a negative way. But over time, and with repetitive interactions, you should begin to see the bigger picture. The goal is to eventually move toward more satisfying, productive, and caring relationships that support the kind of life you want to live. Create an emotional toolbox, if you will. Like, this is a great visual for these concepts. So your emotional toolbox is a place where you keep your coping skills, life management tools that you have acquired over time and over the course of having had numerous life experiences. And these tools are strategies you have developed and used effectively to cope with challenges to your life and well-being. And over time, your personal toolbox should come to contain everything you need. Speaking of which, this is one of my vices. How I've been smoking for 25 years, and it's when you're like a smoker, that becomes your identity. You do everything around it, and I've actually been working at that and been smoking like half of what I used to, but fairly stressed at the moment, so I apologize. Because you get in these situations and stress and circumstances and you start feeling angry. Anger is not suitable for health, and it can lead to many problems, especially if it's not dealt with. So it's essential to calm down in situations so that you can deal with the negative and angry emotions. And it's not an unusual thing, and anyone can be caught up with these feelings at any time. The main thing is you have skill of changing the situation by keeping yourself relaxed. It's essential to know how to perform in conditions when you are angry. First of all, divert your attention. When you feel angry, change the situation yourself by diverting your attention from what made you angry. If you can do this, you will see how fast you can overcome your emotions and start feeling calm. You put your focus on anything you love to do, and this will bring positive impacts on your mood. Depressive and angry thoughts won't be able to make you as worried and upset. Though it's not a permanent solution, it will make a real difference. Interact with your loved ones. Family and friends are huge, and interaction with them in an angry situation can help a lot to get rid of such feelings. Chatting with your friends, spending time. If you remain alone, you will always think about the thing which is the source of anger, so it's perfect for socializing and communicating with others. Take deep breaths. I'm at the hideout. Your anger makes your whole body tense. Going to any natural or green place like a park, a garden, take deep breaths will make you feel calm. You have to focus on the breaths though, not just like then you have a friggin' panic attack. Your internal parts and body and mind get an outstanding deal of peace by doing this. Watch TV, listen to music. They can be very beneficial to keeping your anger down. Change your focus in your mind and maybe start thinking about other things of life. Listening to your favorite music, which is what I like to do, will definitely help reduce the anger and stress. Some exercise, do different exercises and activities, and you can alter your anger feeling into a calm one, like put that energy into something else, productive. Like me, I tend to stress clean. As you always tell when I'm like stressed, because the house will be like immaculate. As like if I'm really bad, the house will be destroyed. So it's like your mind is highly connected with your body, so if you're doing different movements, yoga, or exercise, you get your brain relaxed. Sharing. If you're in a situation which is always a source of anger and anxiety for you, sharing can be very helpful. Instead of keeping it in you and suffering from it alone, seeking advice with a trustworthy person or a family member. And after sharing, it's like you got to see those feelings for what they are. Talk through them, and then release them, change your perspective. These are all very important things. One thing that I always do, I'm a very open person. The first thing I'm gonna do is go bitch on Facebook. That's my go-to, because I like journaling and shit, but it's better if I get feedback usually. So I'll just be like, bah, and then my Facebook's blowing up, But connecting with other people instead of troubling yourself by rage is the best way to change your mind. When you do not want any company or don't have anyone to talk with, use socializing with different applications. There's a lot of ways to calm yourself in anger. So, choose any technique. Handle the situation in a positive, appropriate, and intelligent way. If you blow up on somebody, apologize. Your reactions can cause worse reactions. So it's
Today's the one cheat day
handle that shit. That's what I'm doing right now. Chilling.